Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for joining. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about loss, specifically loss of a loved one. Recently, I lost a parent, and just recently more been processing it as I didn't have too much time to do so at the time of passing. And, had a lot of mixed feelings about it. Maybe if you've lost somebody as well in your life recently or at any point in your life, you'll understand what I'm saying. You don't always have the time to process it the way that you really need to. Anyway, I had a few thoughts on it and I wanted to share them with you. So thanks for joining. My name is Eric. I'm out here just enjoying a little nature walk, being reflective, and I thought it was a perfect time to share the thoughts that were flowing in and out of my mind. Losing a loved one in your life can be a very painful experience, amongst other things, no doubt about that. And I just want to share with you my recent experience losing my mother. I understand if you've had loss in your life, maybe it's different than what I've experienced, or possibly similar. But we're all different. So all respect to you, and sorry for your loss if you've experienced something recently. Maybe the thoughts I have and maybe the feelings I express today, something that'll resonate with you. If you were in front of me, we'd probably be able to have a good conversation about it back and forth. But since you're not, it might be a little one-sided here as I express mine. But later on, feel free to leave some comments or your thoughts if you'd like, and certainly I'll read them and respond. So about 6 months ago, I lost my mother. She passed away peacefully, I'd say, thankfully. It was just her time. She was older, and we had gotten at least a year, let's say that, to get used to the idea that she wasn't going to be with us too much longer. If you really rewind and take a look backwards, we realize that, we saw it actually like 5 years ago, and even beyond that. As time and age moves through in our lives, we understand the inevitable, that life ends, and gives us a little time to process it and accept it and understand it if we put ourselves in that space, if we give ourselves that space. If we don't, it can come as quite a shock and kind of a surprise when we have to sit and deal with the feelings of loss. Because feelings of loss are never easy to deal with, so we have to prepare ourselves so when the time comes, we are ready to deal with it as best we can, right? I guess I had a silent conversation with myself, acknowledging this and getting ready for the inevitable, which is dealing with the loss and how I was going to go about it. And I didn't always see my mom, as she lived far away, but I realized as the days got nearer, I started communicating more and more to her, more heartfelt sentiments, more emotional conversations, helped me express to her, who she was in my life and what she meant to me. So I'm not sure if you've had a similar situation. As the time draws near, you start to kind of get rid of all those things that don't matter, just you and that other individual and the things you want to feel with them and the things that you want to say to them. Thankfully, I knew a lot about my mother. She shared so much about who she was because I asked her a lot of questions. I asked her all those detailed questions that ensured I was going to get to know her well just throughout my life. And so on her final days, I was able to almost create this movie in my mind of who my mother was throughout her life. And I saw her as a happy being, just joyful, loving, happy being. And she passed that on to us, her children, her siblings, everyone around her, friends, family. And I was very proud of who she was. And deep inside, I saw that she was too. Very simple woman in her mannerisms, in her ways, but also at the same time very complex, if that makes sense. So I don't want to get into all the intricacies of that, but I do want to express that I saw a lot of me in her. Thankfully, as I got older, I started realizing that I wanted to be a bit more like her every day. And this was a way to keep her legacy alive also. And I found that as I was able to see my mother in this manner, and her life in this manner, I was able to see that in myself as well. In the past few years, as I've gone through many changes as you do midlife, the experiences I've had, my relationships, the way I see myself mattered, because at the end of her life, I was able to see that it wasn't painful. She wasn't in any kind of pain. She didn't express it at all. She expressed joy and love in her final year, her final months, weeks, and days. She never made me feel sorry for her. She never made me feel scared for her, nervous. And I quite honestly just viewed it as her transition to wherever we go. Just a transition, and I was thankful for being able to witness it, to witness a beautiful life on earth coming to an end, and to witness her transition to wherever else she's going. And wherever else that place is that she's going to be okay, because, you know, we drop these bodies, but our spirit and our soul remains. I found that in seeing things that way, she's still around, she's still here, she's always here. She's also wherever else she needs to be at the moment. She's everywhere. And that's the beauty of life. But when we're younger, at least I didn't see things that way. I found it kind of a scary thing. Somebody was going to pass. What happened to them? And in that fear, I started fearing death myself. It's a morbid thought, I know, but we don't like to talk about it, but you're faced to talk about it when it enters your life. And anyway, so I found that having this view, having these feelings within me offered me strength, offered me a different vision of clarity, if you will, a vision that saw things beyond this world. And it was yet another lesson that my mother taught me without actually teaching me. I saw that at the end of your life, what's important is the love and the relationships that you've had with individuals and everybody. If you've suffered loss in your life, how are you seeing it? What are the meanings that you're giving to that? The attachment that we have to wanting the individual around. We miss them. We have feelings of loss from the attachment, the idea that they're supposed to be here for us all the time. And I understand that. I realized that when my daughter was born, almost instantly I thought, oh boy. One thing I didn't realize is how selfish this actually can be, that one day, if we move through life the traditional way, where I pass before she does, and I hope that's the case, of course, but I realized that she's going to experience this loss, and that's the circle of life, isn't it? So, just a thought I was having that I wanted to share, that as I finally had a chance to process my mother's passing, I realized that it wasn't as painful as I thought. That in no way means that I didn't love her. I loved her with every ounce of me. And beyond that, I'm just saying I saw it for what it is. the end of your journey here on Earth, on this planet, where we're given this body to basically guide our spirit through this experience. But when our time is up and it's time to go, well, then we are able to leave this place behind, and hopefully the experiences that we've had and the relationships that we've enjoyed and all that we've encountered stands for something. And in my mother's case, I saw that it stood for everything. So if you've experienced loss in your life, again, condolences for that. And for sure, it's a painful experience. I've experienced that pain. And my mother's passing was painful initially. You know, once I got past the thought, the reaction, then I got a chance to sit with it and realize that I couldn't bring her back anyway. And the best thing that I could do is celebrate her by honoring all the memories and all the feelings that she gave me and everybody around her. And if you've experienced something like that, just thought maybe I'd share something like that. Maybe that could help you as you move through this part of your life that we all have to deal with. And anyway, if it's something that helped you, then that makes me happy. And if there's a thought and a comment that you want to leave behind, please do so. Again, I understand we're all different, and I accept that your situation may be completely different than mine, but I just want to share my experience and my thought. So much love to you, family, everyone around you. Life is beautiful. Keep on moving through. That's what we're meant to do. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Eric, and much love to you. Bye-bye.